the best Pudge set, so that'll probably make up for it. Is Dubu getting slowed quite a bit. Spirit Lance hits Soldier. Solji getting the toss back, and this should lead to a first blood, and a hook ensures it.
That was hard.
Paradise actually is the one that gets the kill there, though.
That was a really tough hook to land because he gets tossed back, and then Paradise throws the freaking Spirit Lance, which I don't know where the illusion spawns, but imagine it's on the other side or something. That would have been awful.
Yeah, I wonder if it's RNG. I never paid attention to where that illusion actually spawns. All right, that's your job the rest of the game, to pay attention to that, Purge. You'll probably forget in about 10 seconds.
Well, there's going to be another one, that's for sure. They're actually contesting the ring.
Yeah. Okay, we got the toss back. Dawnbreaker, very tanky. Bryle gets off the hammer. Doesn't go too far, but the rebound is there as Moomianer just walking everywhere he wants, but you can see.
See, they're tipping their Pudge like shit hook, dude. Literally what's happening here.
And Moomianer's in a bit of trouble. Hook is coming online now. Oh, no! And Moomianer's face was full screen for some reason.
There was a little tenseness in his chin. Did you see it? He definitely squeezed his buttocks a little bit there.
Well, was it his chin or his buttocks?
Well, it was both. His chin revealed that there was some squeezing going on his side.
I see. Sure. Interesting. He must have a... Is that how you... Is that your kind of reaction when you ask for bacon at a hotel?
Oh,
everything just clenches up?
That's why I don't do it. I just can't handle it.
It's too tense of a situation for you.
Exactly.
Understood. So Bryle's going to be playing the mid Dawnbreaker. I love her in this role specifically. I know that Marcy and Dawnbreaker a lot of times are played as support, which, you know, I do like heroes that are able to be flexed, but the mid lane just makes so much sense because you get that level 6 and you can just be anywhere on the map thanks to the ult. You just need some sort of a setup stun, which, I mean, they have Dispose, I guess, and they have Chaos Ball. I mean, it's not the greatest setup this game, but I'm sure they'll make it work.
They've got Winner's Curse. That's a really good one, too. I think another important thing to point out is that with all of these early First Bloods that they went for on the Felt side, Tiny got tossed level 1s. That meant he didn't have Tree Grab going into the lane here, and now he's at a CS disadvantage against Dawnbreaker. And while those kills might feel like they offset things a little bit, this stuff really adds up and changes your timings a bit for your opponents. Your opponents are going to be farther ahead than normal, and you're going to be farther behind than normal. So he's catching up, though, sitting 5-on-1, but Bryle's doubling his CS at the moment, so maybe that translates to Tiny having a rough one, but we'll see.
So based on the games that you've watched, that, you know, obviously Pudge has kind of dropped off in terms of the picks since people did not have much success early on in this patch, but what are your thoughts on the current iteration of Pudge's? Looks like Rem is dead.
I mean, I like how they changed Flesh Heap initially because it does offset the rot damage, which allows you to farm more often with rot. I think that's cool and is a nice thing that was kind of like preventing Pudge from being a more viable core, because it was just so mandatory that you get a lot of regen and a hood to offset that. So that was cool. And all it really took was just buffing the skill up a little bit more.
Well, not going to help him here because he does not have it skilled yet. Actually, what is the skill build these days? Because I figured you'd leave Hook at 1.
Correct. Yeah, you leave Hook at 1. You usually get approximately equal points of rot and Flesh Heap, and then max out Flesh Heap second after rot, and then you max Hook last. Is usually how we see it.
I see.
But usually when you're playing the mid lane, you go like rot and Flesh Heap levels in abundance usually, just because then you can farm really well. Saberlight's just only bottom here.
Yeah, Paradise getting drained of all his damage. We'll be fine, though, as Bryle's actually pushing really hard into the mid lane. Gets off the hammer. Zor in the top lane getting chased in the trees, and Tomato looking for the crit. That's one more shot should do it. He's going to get the easy kill onto Mr. Putka. So in your estimation, I know that the win rate is not great on Pudge right now. Would you say it's been played mostly mid? I mean, I've seen it the position 1, which I feel like, I mean, maybe this is confirmation bias, but I feel like the games that I watched, at least, that's the one that felt like it had the most success in this patch.
That's what I've heard people say. I haven't watched too many of those games. Most of the ones in NA that we've seen were mid Pudges, and most of the time they went well, with the exception of maybe the one time where it was Pudge mid versus Necrophos. That one looked really bad. But Gunnar had a really good performance on it. Speed had a really good performance on it one game. and maybe there was like 1 or 2 other ones where it actually looked pretty decent, but they ended up losing. But most of those Pudge games were losses. I think Gunner was maybe one of the few that they did really well with. He just went Blink as his like mid-game transition with BKB. He didn't mess around with Ags at all. His whole goal was to initiate. Speaking of initiation, Saber like keeps initiating on his opponents and killing them.
Yeah, that's what happens. Doppelganger not going to take off the static link, and
he's trying to trick him. Oh no, he's just DC. I was like, my dude, he's static linked to you. He knows which one is real. No, he lost internet. That's a bummer.
That's the ultimate mind game right there. You make your opponent think that there's no way he's standing still. Like, this must be fake somehow. This must be a bug in Dota that I just don't know about. But yeah, the disconnection, sadly for him.
Yeah, he took a couple more hits than he needed to. Kind of expensive, really.
Nice.
He might die here, and yeah, that actually leads to his death. So TSM taking full advantage of the DC. Not that they really
gonna let him live? No, he does not give a shit.
Yeah, and again, if you're joining us, Felt are 0-4 in terms of series. TSM 2-2. And TSM basically need to win the rest of their games, I feel like, to have a chance at this tiebreaker for top 2. In addition to... I don't... Wait, have they played EG? I'm trying to remember who they definitely lost to Quincy Crew. They must have lost to EG.
They lost to both EG and Quincy already. They lost to the best 2 teams. So that means when they lose to Felt here, they're going to be out of contention for the major.
Oh, boy. Yep, we have the Solar Guardian coming in. Paradise, able to doppelganger away. But they can chase and they can die, but they're going to see a couple TPs coming in. So Felt definitely want to defend. Plasma Field doing so much damage to Paradise. Not enough for the kill, though. Rebound, slowing them down. And yeah, finally, the Avalanche is able to drop Saberlight back to the fountain. So Brow's rotation, not enough to net them a valuable kill.
I mean, yes, but in the same vein, look at what PL's doing right now.
Nice,
He's just sitting here behind his tower. He's got to like fly out of south. God, this feels good to watch carries be punishable here instead of his support having to be like, oh, TP to me and south. It's just, that's not a good solution. Yeah. So like the pressure that TSM's actually putting on him does completely take him out of the lane. He's still level 4 here. So even though Bryle maybe didn't get as much as he wanted, he still did keep PL out of last city. And like every time he comes up for a last city, he gets harassed and zoned here.
Yeah.
He's only level 4. That's a rough lane.
Did you see the game earlier? I think it was Alliance that went Vanguard on the PL.
I heard that somebody bought a Vanguard and it wasn't very appreciated, but...
yeah, it was rough stuff.
The damage block on your illusions applies, so that part's kind of cool. It keeps everybody very survivable. And if your lane is like really tough like this, there are some values, but no, Paradise looks dead bottom.
Yep, he is dead again. Yeah, it was a weird situation as we're going to see the Avatos with the Ancient Seal onto Dubu. He is going to go down. Looks like Solji will be able to walk away here. Zor, in the meantime, top lane is just getting beat down by Tomato. Tomato's going to be happy with that solo kill. Bryle, the hammer, just enough distance to outpace the Inkswell. But they're going to continue on here. Tosses up in 3 seconds. Avalanche not going to connect. Bryle just trying to bait them in. You can see the Wyvern TPing with a likely Cold Embrace to follow.
Radiant are scanning.
Just a little bottle refill. Just took the fountain water out of his mouth and he poured it in Bryle's bottle.
The range on rebound, I don't understand. I really don't get it, dude.
It's very good. Yeah. Okay. 2K gold advantage only, surprisingly, for an 11-3 game. That part's a little surprise. There's the Vanguard on Pudge that he definitely needed here to lane against the CK. And frankly, this item's really good against Chaos Knight because the damage block goes through before minus armor is applied. So there's -5 Reality Rift armor, and he's got Orb of Corrosion that's -8 armor. So if the Vanguard procs, the majority of CK's damage is not going to be reduced by that. So Zoro might finally get a lane to sit in here. Yeah, it's very important he got this.
And he finally hits level 5, so that's 2 levels in Flesh Heap.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
So you said that they would max Rot now, right? So a 1-4-2 build with...
Yeah, something like that. Or you can go equal Rot. Basically, for every point of Flesh Heap that you have, it offsets an equal amount of Rot. If you buy more magic, magic resistance item, then you need less Flesh Heap. So he'll probably do some mix, but I assume he'll max out Rot now just to increase his kill potential, most likely.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of physical
could be
damage
more
from
conservative.
TSM, so the hood would be mostly for Pudge, it feels like, or self-damage.
Yeah, sometimes it's good just to buy like a cloak, to be honest.
Yeah.
We already have a lot of raw HP on Pudge. He's got lots of, from the Vanguard, the regen is good. Just buy the little cloak
Radiant's
itself,
bottom
spend
tower
500
is
gold
under
and increase
attack.
your raw HP by, you know, a
Radiant
good
structures are fortified.
150 or 200 against magic damage.
Oh,
so,
they
like,
found the
I think you're
Keen
right.
Optic. Best Pudge item, for sure.
Dire's middle tower
I
is under
think it's a very good Sky
No,
and Grimstroke item as
it's
well. though.
Pudge. This is your
Radiant's
position.
bottom
You're going to
tower
give that to a
is under
support? Come on.
Yeah,
There's
probably.
no way.
I mean, it's good on Pudge. Like, the hook range
Radiant's
is
bottom
fine.
tower
The
is
ulti
falling.
range is good. I just feel like a Sky is going to use it a lot more effectively, personally. Wow, look who picked it up.
Just
It was the Skywrath Mage.
incorrect choice. I think
know
the
about
reason that they did this because Zor has not realized that that item has dropped yet. Look, he finds a shovel. Shovel's pretty good,
Dire's top tower
depending on
is
what you
under
find. All right, Salve.
Radiant's bottom
fine.
tower is under attack.
You win this time, Purge.
Hell yeah.
So,
All right.
for a position 3 Pudge, what exactly type of items do you go for after you get like the Vanguard phase boots and cloak, or you know, depending on what kind of resistance you want to go for? Like, is Blink Dagger super important?
Dire's top
Probably,
tower
yes.
is
In the
under
past, when I've played Pudge Core as an offlane instead of other roles, the problem is that like your farm is not quite as reliable. So if you want to go some type of Ags build, it kind of delays your impact in the game by a huge amount. Sometimes that was the issue with our mid Pudge games as well, actually. So I feel like going for a Blink is the best because it's going to allow you to actually use your ultimate and potentially start fights and follow up on fights without having to land hooks. Because if you rely on hooks every time, it kind of makes the game really difficult, I find. So I would like to see him go Blink, maybe BKB, maybe much later he can go Nags if he really feels so comfortable. I mean, it's a great Ags game. It's going to shred the CK illusions, but against heroes like Razor or others, like, it's going to be hard for him to get into these fights.
Yep, and the negative
Only he had the Keen Optic
regen.
there.
That's true. See, he would have hit that hook. It widens the hook, of course. Moon Meander focusing on Wake Me Up. You can see the Mystic Flare doing a decent amount of damage as Bryle, okay, the Dispose puts Zor in his place. He's going to eat the Cold Embrace target, but it's going to lead to his death shortly after, and that's a 3-for-0 exchange as TSM have taken a commanding lead. And here we have Solar Guardian coming into the mid lane. They're trying to get the team wipe the old-fashioned way globally as Solji is dead, so the only remaining member is that PL in the bot lane.
Yeah, I think that team fight is a perfect example of how effective Pudge is without mobility items in the mid game. Like, he can try to land his stuff, but it's not always reliable.
Oh my! All right,
get focused.
using the horsey with the Fanta. Okay, Wake Me Up is dead, and this is turning into yet another shellacking. Zor Dismember is canceled, and he is horribly outnumbered. Although, surprisingly, TSM not looking to dive any further, at least not yet. Now they're going to reset. Now that the cooldowns are back up, Zor drops. Double kill for Bryle. Tier 1 tower in their favor. It's already a 6k lead. Whew.
Yeah, now it's looking real rough. I mean, Tomato's level 10. With his armlet on, he's hitting for like 160 damage, so now the Vanguard damage block doesn't feel so good anymore. Here's that nice juke there by Bryle to dodge the hook. He wants to ult the in, but he has to like walk in. He gets stunned as he does this. Now when he's chasing, finally the Inkswell ends up looking kind of good. But he's getting beat up by the tower the entire time. He finally gets his ulti off, but it just doesn't accomplish anything. Live game, great Blink Dagger reveal there for Solji. Ends up Blink Avatos killing the Wyvern and defending his ward as well.
All right.
So
Radiant's
nicely done by
middle
Felt there.
tower is under
Did they see it? If they do see the sentry, they're just going to leave it there, I guess.
TSM 2 kills away from the Dream. See if they're able to achieve that.
Setup. I mean, they got Blink Avatos plus Skywrath, surely so, and Inkswell. This is a really fearsome
Radiant
try gank here.
Dire
Oh, Tomato. Taking out the
They know
Ancient
that it's
Creeps,
okay.
yep. Inkswell prematurely used, and there's the Avatos combo, Mystic Flare as well. So the Dream is dead, 5-18. But a huge kill onto Tomato. Looks like REM get his TP canceled and dies
Blinking
as
too.
well. Soji gets off the Avalanche. And the Arctic Burn, very annoying. As Bryle just going to try to focus him down himself as Doodle is just watching from... Okay, gets off the curse. And Dispose.
Okay. Why did he curse him there? Did he TP or something?
No,
I don't know what that was
I think that was a bad manners.
Dubu? After he practiced his social skills at the after party, there's no way he would do that.
Yeah, what is this? I heard about them for the first time today.
Oh, he went around the after party with like a little what's it called, a wand or whatever, with his phone on it, and he was live streaming the after party, and then he described it as practicing his social skills, and that. So now it's just a light joke.
Well, that's very cuddly, as Paradise is dead. That's cool. Of course, I didn't go to the after party. Saberlight pops the BKB. Solar Guardian comes in. And Zor looks to be... Now, this game's just over.
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to call GG quite yet, but goodness gracious, this is a Gaben tier.
This is quite possibly the most one-sided game I've seen in a while. It's very reminiscent of the previous one. They're just constantly running at their opponents and diving them, and they're kind of just dying one by one, and they made too many mistakes early, and now it's just way out of control. At least it's good to see Pudge back where he belongs, 0-7 and 1 KDA, very normal on him.
Oh, that just means he needs more buffs. It's all good.
This is just you can't even use this game as a judge, unfortunately. This is just such a big skill mismatch that
yeah, that's true.
It was unlikely for it to look close.
Tell
Sky
me,
Pudge kind of a weird dual lane too, but
when is the last TI that Pudge has been picked on a semi-consistent basis?
None of them.
Well,
maybe TI1 probably. TI1 he was picked in the finals.
Not just TI1, but TI2.
And then there was like, yeah, okay, I think he did the hooking for the sendback.
I feel
was
like
that the last time? They banned it a little bit, maybe.
That's why I asked, because I actually can't remember it happening, and that feels weird that it's been that many years.
It's like it's literally the 1 year in Dota that's never really ever been viable and competitive. Actually, that's what I said at the start of the season. We're still there, unfortunately, because it is still not viable, but it's closer certainly.
Now, do you think the reason that it's not being buffed more is because it's the most picked hero in Dota, and it always has been? And stuff is going on, but again, this game is a true shellacking. 10k lead for TSM at 16 minutes. And they can just do whatever the hell they want.
Nice.
It's like the techies problem, right? Like, people hate playing against it in some cases. But you absolutely can't change Pudge. You can change techies or whatever. I know obviously people like Slacks are very sad because now his like favorite hero in Dota is that playstyle's gone forever.
Yeah.
But Pudge is just too iconic. It ultimately has to like be there. I'd be sad if they reworked it. Just buff and nerf it until it finds some
well, that's my question is what's the reason that it's not being buffed to just be good? Because there's easy things, like, I don't want to bring up another game that just recently died, Purge, but there's ways to make it good. I think it's because it's already the most picked here and they don't want it to be like
that's a good
taken
point.
to the next level in pubs.
It's clearly actually what I think it is, based on you saying that, it's clearly extremely popular the way that it is. Why would you mess that up? Like, imagine like how that'd affect your player base if you just like fucked up the most popular hero in the game. You know?
Well, what do you mean though? How would you screw it up if you buff everything and make it good and competitive? How's that screwing the hero up? You don't have to change the
fuck
concept.
it up, I mean rework it in some way. I mean, I guess you could just buff the numbers till it gets more extreme, but you also don't want to make people completely sick of your most favorite hero. It's almost like you have to be careful about the most popular heroes in the game, because clearly a lot of players continue to play the game because that is their favorite hero. So you have to like be sensitive about it, you know? Does that make any sense to you? What I'm going for here?
It does. I don't know if that applies to Pudge, because the only reason I'm saying it is because in Han, obviously there was a Pudge equivalent that was just infinitely better. And I feel like obviously they can't just copy paste exactly how it was because it wouldn't really be a Dota hero. But just like
ultimate the same.
Yeah, literally every spell was the same. But the big differences were like when you hooked, you could move right when you hooked. And it would kind of like move your hook so you can kind of drag it a bit, if that makes sense. And I think it used to hook on the way back, but I think they got rid of that. And then the other thing, wait, is that the main? Oh, and obviously the turn rates are way better. So like changing the turn rates of Pudge, like even just like lowering them just a bit, I think would have a huge impact, like a positive impact, but it's really tough to say.
Dire
Yeah.
are scanning.
But I want to
mean,
see this
it's
hero in
still-
competitive. I want this to be picked as a... It doesn't have to be OP, but I want this to be at TI semi-consistently, you know?
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if it gets picked at the major a little bit, like here or there. I doubt it'll be an all-the-time thing. Oh my god. Holy shit. Did you...
Paradise is dead. I didn't see the first kill.
Okay, it was actually... It looked real weird to me. The Skywrath Mage was bottom. He dropped his... I like looked over there and there was items on the ground by Skywrath Mage while Dawnbreaker was attacking him. And I was like, this guy's destroying his items. But Brawl was invis earlier. So I think it just happened to be like crazy timing or something. Because he picked him back up right before he died.
It was Skywrath items.
I think Sky put his items down to use wand or something. No, he doesn't.
He
have
does
wand.
not have a... I was looking at his inventory. I'm like, there'd be no reason to drop your...
No, I have no idea why he dropped
Other
his
than
items.
being NA, as Wake Me Up dies. And TSM looking to close out this series 2-0.
Oh, I see what it was. They had a ward. Maybe they saw Brawl TP into lane and use the invis. So maybe drop the items to try to get him to reveal himself.
Oh, I see, yeah.
And then so that they could get a kill. Because he had Pudge sitting nearby, I believe. They were thinking like, oh, we'll kill him. We'll make a little counter. I think that's why he dropped his items. Like the ice type thing.
Yeah, that makes sense. We'll go with
Anyways,
that.
they're fucking losing.
Yeah, they're getting destroyed right now. As Tiny gets his second item of the game with the Echo Saber. And I mean, looking at their lineup, they just have such a tanky lineup. Like 4 of the 5 heroes, Tiny, even if he was like decently farmed, I don't think he'd be able to get a kill on anybody other than Wyvern.
Mercy's actually squishier than you might assume.
Her strength gain is insane.
It's 3.3. It's good. It's not like insane. But I'm just saying, like, by no means is Moonmeander having a bad game. He's 4-0-15. He's got 1500 HP. That's all I'm saying. It's good.
Was that the first hook we saw? It was on a teammate and it didn't do anything.
I mean, he hooked lots at this before the bounty rune spawn, remember?
Oh, yeah, that's right. That was the highlight of the game.
Look, Marcy almost died in it.
Yeah, almost.
She got down to like 200 HP.
Oh, boy. Yep, the Unleash continuing on to Solji. And Cold Embrace is going to keep him at bay as Dubu. Already used his curse as Marcy finally goes down, but it'll probably be at the cost of many have felt. As TSM, and still with that link, their curse is back up again, and look at how much damage he is taking. That is the refresher from Saberlight. Paradise, he gets ink swelled, but the right clicks are too much. Ultra kill for Tomato. That was a dieback onto the Grimstroke. Last game was 22 minutes. What's that?
The puzzle ended a little early. If I remember, there might be a bug with it, with Disruptor, or with Grimstroke ulti. I can't remember, but I feel like I saw something like that, where it, like casting it the second time interrupts it on the primary target or something. I'm not sure, but it seemed like his ulti ended early. Maybe he just messed up, but he seemed a little confused as well.
Tomato wants to use the Aegis.
Killed Tomato. Well, there's a dragon scale on the ground.
Oh boy. He doesn't want it. Oh, he's going back for it. What was that?
I don't know.
All right, well, at the very least, they... No, too bad. Very misleading how big that hook is, too. Feels like it should be able to connect on many units. Moon Meander gets to half HP, but here comes Tomato. And the Dawnbreaker, well, the ult doesn't quite connect onto Zor, but they're still going to get the kill on the Pudge, who does have buyback. He'll consume it. And they're just focusing on the PL, who just gets destroyed. Now Moon Meander onto REM. Oh, the hook. He got it. He got it. And he's dead. GG's called. TSM take the 2-0 very, very easily for them. And yeah, this entire series was a game and level shot.